welcome to the Total Clarity Podcast. I'm Jesse Hyatt.
And I'm Mike Varley, and this is week 50 of our 52-week walk around New York City.
It's a big one. We're almost at the end.
250 marathons down, only 10 more to go.
Wow.
And this week we've got a fun week to share with you all.
Yeah, this week we were walking a week called the Stadium Tour.
That's right. So we hit the 4 major stadiums within the New York City confines.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Yankee Stadium,
Mm-hmm.
Citi Field,
Mm-hmm.
Madison Square Garden,
Mm-hmm.
and Barclays Center.
Mm-hmm.
And that's them, the 4 food groups. And along with visiting these stadiums, we had a very special guest on our show this week.
We did. Yeah, we had a very special guest.
Yep, this is Kevin Corrigan. Kevin Corrigan is a longtime family friend on my side of the family, and he is what one might describe as a New York sports super fan.
Big time super fan. And because of that, we got a ton of big time super stories about sports throughout the last tens of years. You know, Kevin's whole life, he shared with us stories from his childhood, stories from more recent years going to sporting events, and also, you know, not going to spoil it, but there's some interactions with the sport people, you know, the players that he's had that are really cool to hear about.
That's right. And so one note about the footage that you'll be seeing. So we recorded with Kevin in his Bayside backyard, which was a really nice way to spend the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that, we took footage throughout the week of the various stadiums. So you'll be seeing that footage play while we're talking to Kevin at various points, just to kind of keep the visual interest up. So
that's right.
We hope you enjoy that, and we hope you enjoy our conversation with Kevin. Sounds like wait until this one goes over and then we'll start.
You want to do it inside?
No, this is better.
This is great.
The whatever noise the plane makes is better than the echo that comes from inside. That's why it's better to do it outside.
That was Rockaway.
Oh, yeah.
JFK was right there all day long.
Yeah.
And we had like the bungalow, like our glasses would rattle.
Yeah.
Because the A train was right above us too.
Yeah.
Wow.
The A train.
Yeah.
We run underneath the L.
Yeah.
Everything's rattling and sand all over the bungalow.
Yeah.
That would be a tough
my
place to record
sandwiches,
a podcast.
my sandwiches, food, the men, the showers, great.
Yeah.
But a lot of fun.
I think that's a great place to start because we were just talking about it a little bit before we started. But tell us all the places. I mean, you're a city boy through and through, right? Your whole life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you were in the Rockaways. That was a summertime thing, right?
Yep.
And yeah.
Okay, I was raised in Inwood, New York.
Yeah.
And I stayed there till around 9 years old.
Yeah.
And every summer we always went down to Rockaway. I was born in Rockaway.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, like if you were born in some of my family, you were born in Rockaway. My parents met in Rockaway. You know,
Oh,
so,
nice.
And then we moved to Little Neck.
Yeah.
And still went down to Rockaway in the summertime. And you know, it was a great childhood.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. You know.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of love and support with the family and stuff is great. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How far back were your parents born here? Or did they move here?
No, my parents were both. I said, my dad was, originally from Woodside.
Yeah.
Mm.
And my mother was from Inwood.
Okay.
You know, and they met down Rockaway Beach in the summertime.
Yeah.
Because their parents went down to Rockaway too.
Yeah.
They were kids, and they met when they were around 16.
Yeah.
You know, and they married 18.
Yeah.
My sister's older than me by 4 years. My mother had 2 children by the time she was 24.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so my sister was 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
So.
I don't remember, neither of us are going to remember the name of this place, but one of our first anniversaries, like second or third year we were together, we got a bed and breakfast Rockaway hotel down there, and it was this guy who ran it, and he talked about people from the North Shore of Queens, basically, summering in the Rockaways every year, which kind of sounds a little bit like what your childhood was like.
Yeah, exactly. It was all, as I said, it was mostly Irish, basically, and we were all related somehow.
Yeah.
You weren't my aunt or uncle, you were my aunt and uncle. I had so many aunts and uncles, like all of, hey, you know. And of course, I said we had an amusement park there, and we had the ocean and Jamaica Bay, and back then, in Jamaica Bay, you could swim in the bay too.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you could
wow,
swim
yeah.
in both. It wasn't polluted then.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned to swim. I was around 5, and my uncle just threw me in Jamaica Bay. My father was down in the water, and he just said, "Start paddling." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So so I've been love loved the ocean too.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of like body surfing and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
surfing, it was great. You know?
Yeah.
You know, just a great childhood that way.
Absolutely.
And inland was pretty sharp too in the wintertime too. You know, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sledding time.
Exactly. The hills, sledding and stuff. You know. And then I came out to Little Neck probably I was around 9 years old. And, at first, it was such a big adjustment. It was like I was like in the country.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was raised in in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right.
And all of a sudden I'm out in the sticks. I thought. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like, where's the horses and stuff? You know, I mean, the horse and buggy I thought would come.
Right.
So all of a sudden, like the milkman's coming to my back door with milk and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would hear it shake and stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, what the heck is this? You know?
Yeah.
So that was a big adjustment too.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get used to that, do you think?
Probably, we moved there in April, so I was only there for 2 months with school. Then went down to Rockaway.
Right.
Then I came back in September, probably to around October or so. You know,
Okay.
so it wasn't bad.
That's
bad
pretty
at all.
quick.
But it went from an apartment building to a home,
Yeah.
and the home. Now I look back now, it was box houses. But when I was a child, it seemed so big.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming how big it was, you know. So and I had my own room, and it was like, oh boy, you know. So because like we were raised basically in a one bedroom. My parents had, me and my sister, you know, shared the other room basically, you know, in the living room basically. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So.
I love those houses in the Rockaway area. It's like the compact beach homes.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was great. And when you guys stayed, there was 108th Street.
Mm.
It's a brand new hotel there and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And Fitzgerald's, you know, had a bar there on the water.
Yeah.
Probably in my teens, we used to go there and watch incredible basketball players.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like old Knicks, like Mike Reardon in the summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all like the '69 Knicks and the '72 Knicks. Johnny Warren.
Yeah.
You know, Brian Winters, who's an incredible basketball player.
Yeah.
And they would play there all day long. It was like you went from there right to the water. You know?
Oh,
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
So
Yeah.
they were just like playing around or
Oh no, they were playing.
team or
They
actually
were playing.
practicing,
They were
like
playing
real
games.
practices?
They were playing games. You know?
Wow.
Yeah. This was very competitive. You know?
Yeah.
So like we would be there, like we would play in the morning,
Yeah.
and they would come around say 3 o'clock, and they would stay to around like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. You know.
Yeah.
And they would play 5-on-5, but
Yeah.
the guys who like at least 8 players were in the NBA at the time.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Because when back then Rockaway was like the Hamptons.
Yeah.
It was the place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, at nighttime the bars,
Yeah.
you know, for people in their 20s and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
no, so it's the place to go and stuff.
It's.
You know?
I mean, it's different but similar for our generation. I mean, you know, we've been living in the city now 10, 12 years, however long, and the Rockaway is the beach that all of our peers go to.
Yeah.
Really.
Right.
Even though, you know, we've been walking around the city and we know there are tons of other beaches.
Right.
That is the one that like our peer group
But we still
latches
go.
onto.
I got
yeah.
family still down there. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, I still got my family there. We're very, you know, my family's very active too in the church. You know,
Yeah.
St. Francis de Sales. That's on 128th Street.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, my cousins, who I was raised in the bungalows with,
Yeah.
her son is married with 3 children now, and he runs the Heisman Trophy.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's like I always go to the Heisman Trophy too.
Yeah, I guess I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a perk, you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because as a child, his brother was like me, a sports fanatic,
Yeah.
and Timmy, the younger one,
Yeah.
wasn't, and
Yeah.
he's the one that got the job.
Yeah.
But he's so good with communications.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his strong point.
Yeah.
In fact, he was doing MSG before he was he got this gig and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And he was going to become an announcer.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his goal originally.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
You know what I mean? Originally, that was his goal.
Yeah.
You know, so.
That's a pretty good
Yeah.
side goal to come
Yeah,
up with.
yeah,
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Sports in general were your parents, was your dad, like were they sports
My
people?
grandfather.
Your grandfather
My
was the
grandfather.
one.
My,
Yeah.
my mother's father.
Yeah.
What was he into? What was he
Yankees.
watching? The Yankees?
And when I was probably, and my grandfather was my hero,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and my father's my hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mickey Mantle became my hero.
In that order.
In that order, exactly. You know, and I used to sit with my Now they tell me this.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, it's not my memory too. They said when I was 4 years old, if the game was on,
Yeah.
I was watching with my grandfather,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
And they said by the time I was 5, I could tell the batting averages.
Yeah.
Wow.
They would tell me that people would bet, like my grandfather would say, I bet you like $1. My grandson could tell you, just give a name and he'd know the batting average. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I don't even remember this. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then I guess I went to the Polo Grounds.
Yeah.
And very shady. I was around 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I said we lived in Inwood.
Yeah.
And my grandfather lived there too.
Yeah.
And he lived right above us.
Yeah.
And we just walked like right over the bridge.
Yeah.
And we'd be there. And Polo Grounds a little shady. You know?
Yeah.
But my first my first thing at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I remember watching the games with my grandfather at home on black and white little set, like a real little tiny set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of a sudden I went to Yankee Stadium. And the color, and the
Like the Wizard of Oz.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
like
all
the Wizard of
real.
Oz.
Yeah.
And I was hooked.
Yeah.
The smell, everything.
Yeah.
The hot dogs, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we could back then it's a little different today. We could walk on the field before the game.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And after the game, we were allowed to go through the bullpen to the street.
Right.
You know where the subways were and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was awesome. And then my grandfather's brother, he didn't own Singer & Sevens, but he was a real big shot.
Yeah.
So we used to get seats all the time.
Yeah.
So World Series,
Yeah.
like 1962, 4.
Yeah.
Like I remember Mickey Mantle hitting a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. And he
Yeah.
was my hero. Barney Schultz, I was on 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then my dad was a New York City policeman, and he had a lot of friends there too. And I remember being around 9 years old, going into the clubhouse and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and seeing Elston Howard.
Yeah.
I never seen a black man in my life, and he was so huge.
Yeah.
And he was like one of my heroes too. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, you know. Yeah, Mickey Mantle, he put me on his lap and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so it was
wild.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it was awesome. My father, signed the ball for me right there and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I I moved to Little Neck,
Yeah.
Whitey Ford, who pitched for the Yankees,
Yeah.
his 2 boys went to school with me, and we became really close.
Yeah.
So it was great that way
Wow.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time that you were you always kind of still starstruck? Because it sounds already you've met these baseball players, this pitcher, you're with his sons, you hung out with the Knicks in the Rock, or not hung out with them, but watched the Knicks in the Rockaways. Was it every time were you overwhelmed and starstruck, or was there a point where you started to be like, oh yeah, this sport seems like sports are just, they follow you?
Yeah, no, it was always for me. It was when I probably starstruck, probably around 12 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it got to be but it was always a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing. My father worked for the State Commission of Investigation.
Okay.
Back then Bobby Kennedy was the Attorney General of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably around 11, and I went to a Giant game at Yankee Stadium. Giants played football there also at Yankee Stadium. And we went to a suite, and I never forget my father telling me all week long, now we're going to the game, you have to be good. You have to just be quiet. And I didn't realize that we sat with Bobby Kennedy and his son.
Oh.
David. And David was the one who OD'd in the later years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were 10 years older than the 2 of us.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. Did you guys get
Wow.
along, or was it
Yeah,
just
sure.
Yeah.
So, but I love football too.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was always focused on that, and my parents always used to say, we wish you would do homework the way you could do, sports work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was your homework.
Yeah. So,
Did your grandfather ever say why he was a Yankee fan? Was it ever because I guess the Giants were right there too, right? It could have been one of the two.
He
In
didn't
fact, the Giants were closer.
didn't like them at all.
Yeah.
And just like I was raised as the same thing as the Mets and Yankees are.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
a Yankee fan. The Mets is
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyway, back then he loved Babe Ruth.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He loved Babe Ruth. Matter of fact, funny story is he was in Inwood, and he was waiting for the bus to go to work, and all of a sudden the car pulled up at the light, and it was Babe Ruth driving the car.
Oh.
So my grandpa's he was 25, 6 or 7,
Yeah.
however old he was then. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. So
That's great.
So he loved that too.
Yeah.
I remember my,
Yeah.
So, but I said childhood. Then when I got to be say 12 and 13,
Yeah.
started going with my friends now.
Yeah.
Sit in the bleachers for bat day.
Yeah.
And it was back then they played 2 games, every Sunday.
Yeah.
Started at 1 o'clock. You know, we were there till like 8 o'clock at night. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was just awesome. You
Yeah.
know? And back then, as I said, my parents, you know, as long as you're with your friends,
Yeah.
we'll pack lunch, you know, bring a, you know,
Yeah.
bologna sandwich or a tuna
Yeah.
fish sandwich. You
Right.
know? I was all set, you know.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was 18, I got season seats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how? I mean, I know you've had a prolific number of years for season seats. I mean,
Yeah.
like how long has that been? Starting in 18 and
Okay, yeah, right. I had the old stadium was knocked down in 74.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had seats from 72
Yeah.
right through 2010.
Wow.
So I went through 3 stadiums.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
went, you know, the original stadium,
Yeah.
The
you know,
refurbished.
the
yeah.
first Yankee Stadium,
Yeah.
and then the one across the street where it is now.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I guess they won the World Series in 2009,
Yeah.
and I stopped going in 2010.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reason being money.
Yeah.
They got really expensive to
Yeah,
see.
with the PSLs
yeah.
and stuff. Like
They
with-
put me in. I was behind home plate.
Yeah.
I used to be behind home plate.
Yeah.
In the new stadium, they put me out in right field,
yeah.
Wow.
and they had this big. I mean, their whole thing was the big scoreboard. You
Yeah.
remember? The
Yeah,
scoreboard?
yeah.
Right. I couldn't even see the scoreboard.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it was, and then I couldn't see the right fielder. And
Yeah.
then my mother got real sick.
Yeah.
So it was a combination. It was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
combination of
Yeah.
things. So my last year, I did see them win the World Series there.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And then the next year was my last year there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But
And
you're
then-
still a big fan.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I go to I go to a ballpark each summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a different ballpark. I've been to probably every ballpark.
Yeah.
I think, you know what I mean, except for Cincinnati.
Oh.
But I've been to like old ballparks and new ballparks. Like in
Oh,
Baltimore,
cool.
Yeah.
me and Mike went to Camden Yards, but I was at the
Yeah.
original Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
You know, Tiger Stadium. I was at both ballparks in
Yeah.
Tiger
Yeah.
Stadium.
Are there any right now that are outstanding?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I love my favorite ballparks are still the old ones.
Yeah.
Fenway Park,
Yeah.
Wrigley Field,
Sure.
incredible. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So, now the new ones, I love Pac Bell,
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful ballpark.
Yeah.
And everything's downtown now, so that's really good too.
Yeah.
They
cool.
built all the new ballparks downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great to go for like a nice meal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, after the game or vice
Yeah.
versa. You know what I mean? So like everything's
Everything's right there.
everything's right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I
A
mean?
couple of when we did our first long distance walking trip, which is kind of like how we prepared for several years to do this project. We went from San Diego to Los Angeles, and we went to Petco Field, and
Nice.
we were just blown away by how, like you say, integrated into the downtown. Like they just took
Yeah.
old buildings
That's
and
so
Yep.
cool.
made it part of the stadium. It was
Yeah.
really an experience.
Petco's really nice too.
Yeah. So, I think that's a good question. How do you feel about the, I guess, contemporary philosophy of stadiums? You know, you come from the era where it was like, you go into the stadium, you sit down and you watch the game. You're not walking around and like experiencing the movement. Whereas today's stadiums, they're almost encouraged to, you sit for a couple innings, but then you get up, you get some food. There's a promenade around the back where you walk around, and maybe you go back to your seats, or maybe you stand in a section where you can have a beer. Like, I mean, do you think that it's, in your opinion, it's a good evolution or bad, or is it indifferent?
Well, I'm old school, so
Yeah.
so to me it's you're there to watch the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not there to socialize.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. All
yeah.
these distractions.
But like, I understand totally.
Yeah.
One thing I do not like about Yankee Stadium,
Yeah.
the new stadium,
Yeah.
is the security is so tight that they won't even let you, like young children. Now, when I was a child, half the adventure for me was to go get autographs.
Oh,
You go down
yeah.
behind the dugout,
Sure.
and the players would come by and sign autographs for you,
Yeah.
like right there.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium won't allow that.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
No. So now you go to a minor league ballpark, like in Coney Island, where the Mets
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
It's all about fan friendly,
Yeah.
and it should be fan friendly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're paying top dollar now too.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to a game today, a family of 4, it's going to cost you $400, $500.
Yeah. Totally.
No, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a family of 4. So like that's one thing. Like a lot of the ballparks besides Yankee Stadium, you can still go down.
Yeah.
Like when I go on the road, you can still
Yeah.
go right down. I mean, not for me personally now, but for the kids. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what it's all about. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
kids, because like I would like to see a child experience what I experienced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, totally. You know what I mean? So, so Yankee Stadium is totally, you cannot go down
No,
there.
no,
No,
it's-
not at all.
Yeah. It's feels very like commercial
Yeah,
when you
no,
go into
yeah,
Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. You know,
I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a game, even when the playoffs, none of those seats behind the the catcher are full anymore. You know?
No, never. Well, they're
Yeah.
$1,000 a game.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's great.
They're just corporate
Yeah.
seats.
Yeah,
and,
no,
you know, people-
I paid less than that for a season seat.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
crazy.
definitely.
So going back, you were just talking about, like your experience as a kid, an experience that you had as a kid, particularly in New York City. There were 3 teams.
Yeah.
The Giants, the
Yes.
Dodgers, and the Yankees. What was that like? I mean, living where you lived, were there even any Dodger fans up there? Or
Probably
was it-
not.
Yeah.
Probably not. That was more Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where I was, it was Yankees and Giants.
Yeah.
It was either Willie Mays or Mickey Mantle.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I said I was kind of young then still, so the Giants moved out to San Francisco in 1960.
Yeah. Something like
So
yeah.
so I was like 6 years old then.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I have memories, but not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I remember there was always, and Brooklyn Dodgers had Duke Schneider, and they were all big
Yeah.
outfielders.
Right.
They were
right.
all Hall of Famers. So it was either Duke Schneider,
Yeah.
Willie Mays, or Mickey Mantle.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Right.
So, but you were grown. So, like from 6 on, there had to have been a period of a few years where people who were Giants fans, I mean, were they latching on to Yankees? Were they still Giants? Were they angry at the? Do you remember people being angry at the Giants for leaving, or
Nah.
no?
I mean, I was too
Too young.
then.
Yeah.
I was too young then. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I was like 6. So like I really know.
Yeah.
No.
Because they had, I mean, their
Yeah.
glory was kind of earlier than that. The Giants.
I can tell you about the Mets and Yankees now.
Well, sure, yeah, because that's
yeah,
when they
I'm
came
curious
in.
about
Yeah.
That's a whole
Yeah.
different thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Now here's how crazy I am.
Yeah.
The Yankees in the 90s
Yeah.
were very good baseball, and they made the World Series like
Right.
4 to 5 years in a row, 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And I went to every ballpark. I went to every game
Yeah.
Wow.
on the road too,
Wow.
but I wouldn't go to Shea Stadium.
You wouldn't.
No, how crazy is that? I wouldn't go to Shea Stadium, and
Yeah.
I could walk to Shea Stadium.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
Did
Yeah.
you ever go to Shea Stadium then before it?
Yes, as a child,
Okay.
like the World's Fair was across the street.
Oh, right.
And that was
okay.
a great experience. And my
Yeah.
uncle, my father's brother, he liked the Mets.
Okay.
And the reason why he liked the Mets, because Rango beer was their sponsor back then.
Oh yeah,
And he loved Rango
the
beer.
dry beer.
Yeah. We used to call him Uncle Rango. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and he would take us, I was probably 10 or 11.
Yeah.
But I remember being there and still saying, I mean, this ain't for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really.
You're
this
not a
ain't for
Mr.
me.
Met guy.
And then, but I did see Tom Seaver. I was there when Tom Seaver almost pitched the perfect game.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Once a year, they took a bus from Rockaway
Yeah.
to KSC.
Yeah.
My friend was involved in the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah,
And we rented a bus, and they went to Shea Stadium.
yeah,
And that was the night that we all went. My father, my uncle, my grandfather.
yeah,
And he almost pitched a perfect game, 2
Wow.
hours away.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Michael saw a perfect game with me.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Oh.
That's right. David
Oh,
Wells,
yeah.
96.
Yeah.
We just
Michael
had the 25th anniversary
Yes,
of that
yes.
recently.
That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
How many no-hitters or perfect games have you been to?
Live?
Yeah.
I've been to, let's see, 2 for sure. Gooden and Wells, same year.
For the Yankees,
Yeah.
both of them, yeah.
Yeah. Why do I think there's another one?
That was 96.
Were you at David
That's a good
Cohn's
year.
in
No.
98? No, you weren't?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Another time too, Jim Abbott
Yeah,
pitched a no-hitter.
that's right.
Oh, wow.
And my friend was, he knew how much I loved him. And he called me around the 6th inning. And he said to me, "You want me to come by and pick you up? We can go to the game." And of course, Jim Abbott had half an arm. I got a bad arm, so it was like he was like one of my guys too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And we played ball the same way. I mean,
Yeah.
the way he pitched,
Yeah.
that's how I played.
Yeah.
The same way, So I was pretty sure. I said, "That's okay." And I wish I should have
Right,
went. You know what I mean?
right,
I
yeah.
should have went. So I guess I only saw 2, but I've seen, like, I can't tell you how many times they took it into like the 7th inning or
Right, yeah.
at least 10 to 12
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
You're so
So,
close.
I
Yeah.
remember, well, there's a couple of good stories about the David Wells one. I remember thinking in the 2nd inning, like, hey, there's something here. And Kevin was
Yeah.
like, shh, quiet, you can't do that.
My-
Do that. But then it kept
my
building,
friend,
kept building until obviously it happened.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, if you remember, it was giveaway day.
Beanie Baby.
It was Beanie
Oh.
Baby Day. And it was Valentino, which is this white bear.
I remember that
Yeah,
one.
it had a red heart.
Yeah.
And we were late
Yes.
for the opening pitch, and
You didn't get the beanie.
And
well-
you got a coupon.
that was it. So we were on the line, and Ed, my stepfather, was like, no, we're not waiting. We gotta go. I'm like, and I was 12 years old. I'm still at the age where it's a free thing.
Beanie
You want the free thing.
Of course.
So I'm, it goes on, and I'm, at the end of the game, I'm pissed because could have had this thing.
Yeah.
But as Kevin mentioned, it wasn't the Beanie Baby that was important. It was the card that came with the Beanie Baby because it explicitly said Valentino, Yankees versus Twins, and then there was
you have that little...
well, there was one on the ground. Somebody left their card on the ground, so I picked that up and we bought a Beanie Baby, and then that's it.
Yeah. Here's an interesting story.
But you didn't keep the card.
Oh, I kept the card.
Oh, you kept the card?
Yeah, somebody left it on the ground.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And I have the ticket too,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. So I've seen one special, because I go to a Yankees game every year. It's been a tradition. My dad and his best friend Bruce, who's since passed, but we would go every year, and now my dad and I still go every year. And so we saw a special game, which was A-Rod's 500th home run.
I was there.
Were you there?
Yeah.
We were there together.
I was there.
But I remember, because we only go once a summer.
Right.
And so, leading up to that, I remember talking to my dad on the phone, and we'd be like, it's getting close. You're almost rooting against him the couple days ahead. You want them to win, you want him to do a good job, but you want him to, hit a double or something. Just don't hit any home runs because we want to see the big number.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was at Mantle's 500 and home run. Also, great story there too. He hit the 500 and home run on Mother's Day. So they were on the road and they came home Tuesday. So they played Tuesday, Wednesday, let's say Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably Tuesday, Wednesday. They were off Thursday and played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
So my dad was, my dad loved it. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
So my grandfather was the passion like I got from him. So my father just wanted to see me be happy.
Yeah.
So we went to all 5 games.
Yeah.
The whole homestand. And it was
Yeah.
Mother's Day now. My mother said, "Yeah, go to the game."
Oh,
And hit
nice.
the home run. Yeah.
She
Hit the home run.
understands.
Yeah.
Did it take him all 5 to hit the 500th, or did he?
Yeah. Yes. We went Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday.
It's got to
Oh
happen
my
this
gosh.
time.
whole
It's got to
weekend.
happen
Right.
this time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I was at Jeter's 3,000 hit.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Yeah. And my friend who I was with, he was also with us at the perfect game with David Wells.
Yeah.
I was more of a Mariano Rivera fan towards,
Sure.
as an adult, and he loved Jeter.
Yeah.
So now Jeter hits the 3,000 hit. And of course, the place is going crazy, and I
Yeah.
look. It was a home run also, the
Yeah,
3,000 hit.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I look over, and he's crying his
Oh,
eyes
yeah.
out.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a good moment. It was a
Yeah,
good
for him,
moment,
that's
sure.
look
Yeah,
at
it's
this. Yeah,
beautiful.
it was
Yeah.
great. It was great. You know what I
Were
mean?
you there for his last game too? That was quite
Yes.
That was quite a moment as well.
I brought the family I was telling you about down Rockaway, who works for the Heisman.
Yeah.
I brought his sister's children to the game. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I took you.
Yeah.
It's like around 4 of us went,
Yeah.
Nice.
So, 3 kids, 8 and 9 years old.
Yeah.
Now he's playing for Malloy High School.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, baseball.
I remember that game. We weren't there. We weren't watching it. I was listening to it. I think John Sterling was doing the call, and it was early on in our relationship.
Yeah.
And the sequence of events, how they're playing out, and I'm going all excited, and Jesse's in the other room. She's like, "What?" And then I describe beat for beat how improbable it was that this was happening, and that he got the game-winning hit and everything.
And he didn't hit many home runs too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Wade Boggs, who played for the Yankees, his
Yeah.
3,000 hit was a home run.
Yeah.
Was a home run also. He's the first
Wow.
player in Major League Baseball to hit a 3,000 hit was the home run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeter was the second.
Yeah. Really, I didn't realize he was the second.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Jeter was the
Yeah.
second.
Yeah. What synchronicity.
So-
So cool.
Yeah. But I mean, I got, as I said, I have so many memories. I've been to so many games.
Yeah.
Back then till when I was old enough to get my own seats,
Yeah.
my friend worked for Roaring Gloves.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Roaring
yeah.
Gloves was like the major league, sponsor of gloves back then.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Rawlings, seats behind home plate,
Wow.
Nice.
and that was my seats. And we went to every 4th game.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I went to every 4th game,
Wow.
and you would not believe we were 4 rows off home plate, and if say Nolan Ryan pitched that game, you
Yeah.
could actually hear the difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And, the pop of the glove.
Oh, interesting.
Tom
Wow.
Seaver's 300 victory, a big one. He played for the White Sox He played for the Mets for years. Then he went to the White Sox, and his 300 victory was I was there for that at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine, when you're going that much, you start picking up on some of the subtler things, like the difference between pitchers' velocities.
Oh,
and
yes.
things
Oh,
like
there's
that.
no question about it. Oh, no question about it. You know what I mean? So I could tell if it was curveball change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in those seats. You know,
Yeah.
Like once I moved back a bit, it was a little different. But
Yeah.
when I sat that close, you could even see like a ball on the strike, basically.
Do you remember any players, either on the Yankees or others, that would just take forever to get ready for the pitch and like would
Jeter.
drive you crazy? Well, yeah, sure.
That's why he drove me crazy.
Yeah.
Every pair. Gloves come off.
Yeah.
You know, they all do that though today.
Yeah.
And when I was a child, an average game was what, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Right.
Oh,
Now, you know, when I got to my teens and early 20s, average was like say 3:20.
right.
Yeah.
And now today it could be 4 hours.
Yeah.
The whole day. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that's why people. I mean, that's why baseball is like losing a lot of its popularity, is
Yeah.
because you know it is such a slow game. It's boring after a while.
Yeah.
The pacing is very different than
You know,
any of the other sports.
You know, when I was a child, baseball was the #1 sport.
Right.
Yeah.
More than football,
Yeah.
more than basketball,
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah.
Baseball was the #1 sport. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
No
Well, they
question.
don't. I think as a person that like understands sports, but not nearly as well as you, and definitely not nearly as well as you. You know, when I don't like, they don't help you out that much at baseball. I feel like when you look at the board, you kind of have to speak the language to understand what's going. Like, you know, the obvious stuff:
Right.
who's up.
Right.
You can look who's playing. Balls and strikes, you can kind of get that, but a lot of the like more fine details, unless you go all the time. So I think when it's a slower game, it is hard for like
Oh, there's no
a
question.
non-super fan
My
to
wife,
understand
my
what's
wife has no
happening.
idea. There's
Really?
no question. She has no idea if there's 2 outs, one, you know,
Yeah.
ball 4, you know,
Yeah.
hit the ball. Is that a base? I mean, so she's been told. Okay, she went to 2 games with me.
Okay.
We were dating.
Like ever?
Yeah.
Oh.
We were dating. Yeah, she went to a game with me, and we went with friends from work. And she's like, "Oh no, you know, this ain't too much for me." Now, when the Yankees finally got better again,
Yeah.
you know, they were pretty bad for a while there.
Right.
Like the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
And so, '94, they started getting, you know, they had a really nice year.
Yeah.
And it was the first time they're going to make the playoffs, if they could, and it went right down to the wire.
Yeah.
So we were having people in my house almost every night, like eight friends watching the games.
Yeah.
And Peggy was like, what she did today, she would be bringing us, you know, she'd make hot dogs and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But she got
yeah.
caught up in it. And she said, I want to go to the games.
Oh,
They made the
cool.
playoffs. So we took her.
Yeah.
The first inning, she says to me, she said, can we go home now?
Oh no.
Yeah. I said, nah. I said, I get you a cab, no problem. But I said, we're not going home now. And that was the game when Matley hit the home run
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah.
against Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was '95.
Did she get into it, or was she still just like, all right,
Yeah,
you know, I
yeah,
can catch the train?
And of course, she was kidding around. Yeah, you know. Yeah, Ed was there with us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ed was
nice.
there. In fact, Ed sat with Peggy. I got them 2 seats, and Ed sat with Peggy.
That's
you know?
good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he was a gentleman.
Oh, he was, oh, without a doubt, you know. So Ed sat with Peg, and they were on the other side. They were like 10 rows from us and
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So Ed said she wants to go home. I said, well, okay, Peg, you go home, you know.
Yeah.
And this before cell phones, I think. too,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So she couldn't, you know,
Yeah.
no text messages,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
No Uber. You can't
Right,
get it.
right,
right,
It's a little more
exactly.
difficult.
Walk.
Had to go out and get a cab,
Yeah.
right, hail a cab, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Or take the train home, the number 4 line.
Take
Yeah.
the 6 or 4.
yeah, 6 to 4 to Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. That's funny. Well,
Yeah,
it's
It is different than what, because when you have it on the TV, there's the announcer the whole time. He's telling you what's going on, and yeah, you can go into the kitchen and bring out hot dogs or do whatever you're doing. But when you're at the game, I mean, I love it. I love going to a baseball game.
It's a different language.
But
There's
it
no
is,
question.
yeah.
There's no question about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Left on LOB. So if you don't know what that means in the scoreboard, it's left on base.
Right.
You have no idea. You know
Right.
what I mean? Right, exactly. Like, I understand that totally.
Yeah.
It's like, as I told you with the podcast, to me,
Right.
it's like speaking Spanish.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I like as like a sports only understanding some of it. I like that part of it. I know not everyone does, but I like that part of it where you're like only kind of understanding it. And especially if you're with someone that gets it more, you can like ask, hey, what did that mean? And kind of
Sure.
get into it. But I think some of the other sports are more accessible, maybe like watching hockey or watching basketball, where it's like constant movement and
Right.
you goes in the hoop or it doesn't go in the hoop, or, you know.
I don't, yeah, it's, I'm not, baseball doesn't quite match the contemporary pace of life. I think is part of why there's a little bit, it's more like going fishing or something, you know,
Now
you're there,
it is, yeah.
you're there to experience, it's a big open space, it's very pastoral, very beautiful, you know, the field, but, you know, things build, you know, you hit a single, and then there's a walk, and then there might be a double, but that could take 15 minutes to unfold, where in the same amount of time, you could go on a 20-0 run in basketball, you know, like, just the pacing and the adrenaline, it's a different type of energy.
There's no question.
Yeah.
No, I can actually tell you, I've been at Yankee Stadium, you know, sold out, 50,000 fans, and I've been so into the game, it was like solitude to me.
Yeah.
I heard nothing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know, really, I get, you know, I mean, I get that focused, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, so to me, it was just like solitude. And then after my grandfather passed, I always say he's always next to me at the games, right?
Yeah.
I said, what do you think, Grandpa, you know? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh,
That's
no,
nice.
no, I'll tell you the truth though, today, especially, I thought I was going to miss it a lot more, because I haven't been to a game, you know, since the virus.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were going to go to St. Louis and it got canceled.
Oh.
And, but I'll tell you the truth, I don't miss it the way I thought I would, like being physically there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I'm getting older too, you know, so, I mean, that's part of it, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, we went, you know, in April. I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast or not.
I don't know if we have.
We, and you know, it was before like mass vaccination, you know, so we were in between our first and second shot. You know, it was an experience. We wanted to go mostly because we wanted the experience of doing something like this, because, you know, hopefully we don't have to do this again, you know, or, you know, it's another 100 years or something.
Sure.
But it was real interesting, you know, getting the test and then, you know, showing the test, and then everybody is, you know, at least like 3 seats away from each other, and it was like an expansion team's, you know, first season, you know, like nobody's there, or it seems like nobody's there, but in reality that's the capacity of Yankee Stadium right now, which is like, you know, 5,000 or 6,000 people.
Yeah, it was interesting to go. Yeah.
I bet. Now, guess where I got my shot, my vaccination?
Where's that?
Citi Field.
No.
And of course, I had my, like this, and some people were saying, oh, you're in the wrong ballpark. You know? So the lady, you know when you get your sticker, like you got vaccinated? And they gave you a Met sticker.
Oh, no.
So the lady goes, you want this? You know? I said, that's okay. You can give it to your friend. I said, that's okay. And Peggy said, yeah, don't give it to him.
So is that the first time you've been in Citi Field then?
No, I've been there 3 times.
Okay.
Only retirement parties.
Okay.
You know, with my company.
Really?
With my company.
When you feel like
Yeah,
so no games.
I had to go.
You've been there for no games?
No, they played, but I had to go.
Yeah.
You know, I had to go. Like, I was obligated to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a good friend of mine, or my boss, you know, retiring.
Right.
He's kind enough to invite me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
were they in like a box situation? Or
yes, we were in the suite.
So you could potentially stand with your back to the game.
Oh yeah, I could be in the back eating food. So I wasn't like, it's a totally different experience.
Yeah.
If I was at Yankee Stadium, I would be in the first seat, in the suite, watching the game.
Right.
This I was chit-chatting away in the back. No, they're playing. Yeah, it was
no hitter, huh?
Yeah, it was one of those. It was one of those experiences. Exactly. I was there for friendship and companionship.
Yeah.
You know?
That's funny.
So,
now, if you were able to divorce your hatred or whatever you want to call it from the Mets for the facilities, would you be able to say, like, between Shea Stadium and Citi Field, do you have one that you think was a better stadium?
Oh, Citi Field's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's much nicer than Yankee Stadium.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. The new stadium.
Yeah.
The new stadium's like it's like I don't know. It's like a warehouse, a factory to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Citi Field has a lot of personality to it.
Yeah.
You know, it has Abbott's Field there.
Yeah.
You know, it has a little polo grounds there. You know what I mean? So no, Citi Field's beautiful. I mean, I definitely would say that for sure.
Well, you know, some people would just say it doesn't matter. I have my team. You know, but I actually agree. I do prefer the experience of going to Citi Field over Yankee Stadium.
But I am going this summer.
Yeah.
To Citi Field, I have you know.
Yeah.
The Yankees are playing the Mets.
Oh.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine it's his 70th birthday.
Nice.
So his wife surprised him. So I said,
that's
I'll
great.
Go. She said, I said, I'll go.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I'll go. So
when's that?
That'd be my first game back, July.
July. Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be my first game back, like going to any ballpark.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
So definitely.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that the Yankees just totally destroy
them.
them.
So I used to go all the time. Here's what happened. here's another reason why too I stopped. We were in Atlanta for the World Series, and it was one of the best games ever. You know, I mean, it was the Yanks.
96 or 99?
96.
Okay, yeah.
The Yanks. It was 2-2. Yeah, the Yanks lost the first 2 games at home, and they went down there. They won all 3, and I was at Game 5. And I went. There were 6 of us, 3 Yankee fans and 3 Met fans. But the 3 Met fans brought the way
Tomahawks,
you call it, the Tomahawks.
Yeah.
And they were really rubbing it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Yanks. And I know if I was the flip side, like I know, like they were, like I would not root against them.
Yeah.
Like out loud, like because I said, come on, these guys really like the Mets. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
Right.
And they were really rooting against the Yankees. You know.
Yeah.
And that was a great game. That was the 1-0 game.
Yeah.
That's Pettit pitched.
Oh
Smoltz.
And he threw to third, or he did something to hold the runs. Yeah, I remember that.
And then Paul O'Neill made a great catch to the third out, and he pulled his hamstring like the night before. So he was, when they left the bat, he said, and these guys were like, oh, they're gonna. The Braves are going to win. And he caught the ball. And I said, okay. Yeah. And I said to myself that night, I am never going back to Chase Stadium. And I used to go with these guys. We would go to Philadelphia to see David Cone pitch with the Mets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just get in the car and drive down there.
Yeah.
I said, that's it. You know what I mean?
But I bet
I'm Irish, so I'm stubborn.
Oh yeah.
I bet also at the same time it made the game more special.
Oh, it was great.
Hey, in your face.
It was great. It was 3-3. We had 2. We went in 2 cars.
Yeah.
So the 3 Yankee fans said, "See you guys." We had cigars and stuff. Cigars,
I remember a similar experience for the 2007 or the Giants Patriots being at friend's house, and there were equal Patriots fans or Giants haters, and Giants fans. And when Eli Manning started that final drive, half of the room was excited, and some of the Patriots fans were like, "Why are you excited? Eli's going to blow it," and it was just like, "All right, just wait 1 second," and then they ended up winning.
Right, exactly. You can just hope that to yourself. You have to,
You don't say anything.
Yeah, but because you know how much I love them, so why are you doing this?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so this is, the elephant in the room. We've got an Islanders fan and we've got a Rangers fan here, and you've gone to games together. So how does that work out?
That was fine. Now, before Mike, I was at it was Memorial Day weekend. The Islanders were playing in Philadelphia for the Cup.
Yeah.
It was Game 6.
Yeah.
And I'm not an Islander fan, so I'm not a Flyer fan, obviously.
It's a lose-lose.
And I was sitting there, but I tell you, it was such a great game. A Nystrom scored
Nystrom goal
in overtime. They won their first Cup.
Yeah.
So I can actually say I'm really glad I was there.
Yeah.
Because I actually was at the NBA Finals, with the Knicks in '69.
Yeah.
I saw a Cup. The Islanders win the Cup. I've seen obviously World Series victories, and I went to the Super Bowl. The Giants won. So I've seen just about been to the Final Four in basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was in the Meadowlands. What I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
you've seen all the New York teams win in some capacity. Were you there in '94?
Okay, here's what I did there.
Yeah.
This is crazy too. I went to every game at home.
Yeah.
And we went to Vancouver. I went to Vancouver. We just.
Oh right.
I'm at work, sitting at my desk. My friend calls me up on a, could have been a Thursday or Wednesday. I forget what day it was. And he goes to me, he goes, "Listen, you have to leave work early." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I got a flight. We're going to Vancouver."
Oh my gosh.
Because they would have won the Cup that night. It was game. At that time, it was 3-1, and if they would have won Game 5, the Rangers would have won the Cup. Now here's another thing. We're on the plane, and we of course we had our Ranger gear on. And the guy in the plane starts talking to us.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's Adam Graves' agent. And he says to us, true story, he goes to me, "Listen," he goes, "if they win the Cup," he said, "I'll meet you in between the first period. I'll meet you right here." He gave me his section. He said, "I'll be there." And he said, "If they win the Cup, I'll get you into the locker room."
Oh, wow.
So now I meet him in the first. I mean, in between the first period, who's he standing with? Susan Sarandon, the actress.
Oh, yeah.
And Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins,
yeah.
Right, they were both there.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now there's the 6 of us just talking. Hanging out with them. Right. But that was the worst game the Rangers played the whole. They were already losing 2-0.
Yeah.
The final score was 4-1.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing, the fans were incredibly nice to us.
Yeah.
The Vancouver fans?
Oh, I could
Yeah.
not believe it compared to like the Flyer fans.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Flyer fans were miserable people.
Yeah.
The Eagle fans too.
Yeah.
Oh, Eagle
Football,
fans
too.
don't even
Same
get
thing.
me started.
Oh.
I happen to be one of those evil Flyer fans, though, too. That's how
No,
I grew up.
But no, but I'm saying if you wear the jersey, like if I go to Yankee Stadium, you know, like the Red Sox fan, who cares? So
Right.
for the Red Sox, good for you.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But these people they get upset that you're rooting for the team.
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean? Like, I mean, really upset. You know,
Yeah.
calling your names and stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I started going to games. You know, I stopped wearing jerseys for that reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at one time I was getting kind of, you know, out of hand a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was getting a little scared. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Yeah.
So then so game 5 happened. I mean, it still sounds like an amazing experience. Did you end up, did they win in 7 or 6? They
7.
won in-
Okay, here's what happened.
So they
there.
went back again.
Here's what happened here.
Yeah.
They lost the next 2.
Yeah.
I went to every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went they weren't my seats. They're my friend, his father's seats.
Right.
And his father says, if there's a game 7, I'm going.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to game 7.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
So I wasn't there for the cup.
Uh,
But now when the game was over, my friend's father just said, "Okay, I'm out of here."
yeah.
He said, "Dad, they're going to be skating around with the cup." He said, "I have to catch my train."
Oh my
No.
God.
Yeah, so he's like, Dad, Kevin could have came.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
Exactly.
gosh.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, he left right away. You know.
That's
So
so
your friend's
funny.
just there
So-
alone, like, but with everyone.
Now here's with the Red Sox and the Mets. In
Yeah.
1986, the Red Sox played the Mets in the World Series.
Sure. That's a lose-lose too.
So what I did was I rooted for the visiting team, so the home fans couldn't be happy. How crazy am I?
That's great.
And it was good for the first 4 games.
Yeah.
First 4 games, it was happening.
Yeah.
The Mets lost the first 2 at Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went up there and they won the next 2.
Yeah.
And then the who you call it won Game 5. Yeah, the Red Sox.
Right.
And I went to Game 7 though. I was at Game
Oh,
7.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was our first anniversary. But here's what happened: Sunday got rained out, and we went Monday. And my first anniversary was that Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
So my wife said, "Go to the game." Peggy said, "Go.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was at that game, and that was a tough game to watch too.
Well, it's
you
kind
know?
of an anticlimax. I mean, nobody even really remembers that,
No.
you know, because of the Buckner game. You
Oh
know,
well,
then-
Buckner. Well, here's a great story for you. I
Yeah.
had around probably 8 friends over the house again.
Yeah.
5 Met fans,
Yeah.
and when they won, it was like New Year's Eve
Oh my
Yeah.
out
gosh.
here on Bell Boulevard.
I bet.
Banging pots
Yeah,
and pans.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the horns honking
Yeah.
like all over.
Yeah.
Because how they won with Buckner.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an incredible
well,
game.
well, what they were down to last out,
Yeah.
and no one on base, and they were losing by what, 2 runs? I
Something
think?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, down to last out.
It was
you know?
completely
And they won the-
improbable.
yeah.
Yeah. Was that fun for you to see, or were you like just
Oh
annoyed
no, it was
by
incredible.
that?
I see. I
Yeah.
love. Listen, like
Yeah.
the Grom now pitches for the Mets.
Yeah.
I love to watch him pitch.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Yeah.
Listen, I love baseball.
Yeah,
and,
when you can
and he's-
appreciate the
Yeah, I
sport.
appreciate this guy. He's
Yeah,
incredible.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
He's like me being a child watching Sandy Koufax.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver's another one with the Mets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I totally appreciated Tom Seaver.
Yeah.
Like I want to see quality too. I like to watch excellence, you know, do well too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Totally.
sports, yeah.
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 Like I don't mind if a team wins 4 in a row.
Right.
It don't, you know.
Yeah.
So even the Patriots, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And so, did you say that you played baseball a bit?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
when you were
yeah. When I was a
younger,
kid,
too?
yeah. I got a lot of attention too as a young child.
Yeah.
Because my arm,
Yeah.
I was pretty good at it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
What
So
were
I
you?
got a
What
lot of
position
attention.
were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What position were
me
you?
second base.
Okay.
Yeah, pitcher.
Wow.
You know, we played in 2 different leagues. You know, down
Yeah.
Rockaway. You know, but pitcher and second base. You know, and I was like I said, I was like Jim Abbott, and I got a lot of attention too for that
Yeah.
reason. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So, and I like attention, so
Sure.
so it's good for me. You know what I mean?
It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. Yeah. So and of course it helped me be one of the guys, and
Yeah.
you know, my
Yeah.
self-esteem and stuff. Definitely,
Yeah.
I got a lot of
Totally.
attention that way
Yeah.
too. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, either I was watching or I was playing.
Yeah.
Basketball too.
Yeah.
Play a lot of basketball too.
Oh,
you know?
cool.
Yeah, play
Yeah.
a lot of basketball.
Did you ever meet Jim Abbott? It seems like you meet so many
No,
people, and maybe it
no.
just happened in
I
the
would love
hallway.
to. No, I
Yeah.
would love to.
Yeah.
No, I would love to. You know, no, never met him.
What are some of the like the most friendly examples of meeting sports people? Like people that like just were the nicest
I,
guys.
I got a great story for you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Peggy went with me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Peggy,
'Cause it's a
one,
trip.
one of our dear friends,
Yeah.
Sherry, and her son, he was graduating from 8th grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is 2005.
Okay.
Because I had the T-shirt on the other day, and I looked, oh, 2005. Like this is Wrigley Field.
Cubs, Yankees,
2003.
June 2003. There you go. Yeah.
So 2005, we get to the airport, and we're sitting there. All of a sudden, the corner of my eye, who do I see walk up? Mariano Rivera.
Oh,
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's my favorite.
Yeah,
my
he's
favorite
incredible.
player.
Yeah.
So, and he was flying out late.
Yeah.
So the Yankees. So he was on the plane with us, and I saw him in the terminal. Hey Mo, blah blah blah. So he says to me. So I get on the plane. I said, Mo, you Mike? He goes, sit down. So he had me sit down, talking to him.
Yeah.
Fast forward, like 5 years later, we were in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And we're staying. By chance, we're staying. I was staying with the Yankees.
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
Yeah.
The same
Cool.
hotel.
Yeah.
And once again, I see Rivera. And maybe I said, "You remember?" Of course, you don't remember me. And maybe it was my arm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and once again, he took me over and introduced me to his wife.
Wow.
Yeah, he said, "This is my friend from." Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was awesome. That was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
That way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love
was
to
great.
hear that.
And now I can give you the opposite one.
Yeah. Sure.
Let's hear it.
We're in Seattle. Seattle's a very small town, and
Right.
once again, the field's downtown.
Yeah.
And throughout the day, everyone's just walking around, the city.
Yeah.
And so the Yankees are, it's a very small town, and at that time, I knew every Yankee by face. Like,
Yeah.
it's like if I saw Mike in the street, hey Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And who walks by? Mike Messina
Oh. Okay.
with the bullpen coach.
Yeah.
And I said, hey Mike, how you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, nothing. Like I wasn't even there.
Oh.
Like not even acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I said, okay. I like going that, and I actually heard it when they walked by. I actually heard the bullpen coach say, "Mike, come on, man."
Oh, really? Wow.
Because I hello to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just hello to you. That's
Yeah.
all. Yeah. And I've heard.
Well, it's good he got
Like I read
scolded for
articles
that.
about him
Yeah.
that he was
not.
very prickly. You know?
Oh, really?
Oh.
He was very
Interesting.
standoffish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
keeps you out of the Hall of Fame.
No. no, he's in the Hall.
Oh,
of Fame.
he made it because
Yeah,
he
he
was
made
a
it.
he was a
I guess
great
it doesn't.
great compiler, and that last
well,
year
that's what it was.
19 and
Longevity.
1. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He never won 20 games until his last year.
Yeah.
It was all longevity.
Yeah.
Now, he almost
Yeah.
pitched a perfect game. I wasn't there. Fenway,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
At Fenway against the Red Sox,
Yeah.
down to the last strike.
Yeah.
One strike to go.
Oof.
Base hit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember he's big
That,
on
well,
crosswords.
maybe that's
I
why.
remember
That's what
that.
he gets for not
So,
being friendly.
Yeah. I can tell you, here's a funny story. Me and Peggy having got into an argument.
Yeah.
Pretty good one. And we
Yeah.
hardly ever
Yeah.
argue at all.
Yeah.
I'm upstairs watching. You have to realize too, like I get kind of crazy too with, like big games.
Yeah.
So they're playing the Packers, the Giants.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
In Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
Now I'm invited to friends' houses, and I don't want. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
focus. I'm upstairs alone.
Yeah.
Right.
Was this
So-
one of the Super Bowl runs?
Yes, the
Yeah.
first one.
The first one, okay.
That was when Tom Coughlin's face was exploding.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so cold.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm upstairs, and Peggy's downstairs doing her thing,
Yeah.
and the last play of the game, the Giants missed the score was tied.
Yeah.
The Giants missed the field goal,
Right.
and I was so upset. I just came out of the room. I walked downstairs, and Peggy goes to me, "Oh, I'm sorry." So I said, "You watching the game?" She said, "Yeah." Well, I started watching the game at the end. Yeah. I said, "That's why they missed the field goal." Really jinxed.
Oh no.
And she got mad at me. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So now in overtime, the Giants won.
Right.
Oh.
So now of course, Peggy, she's like, don't get away from me. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Was she still watching the game, or did she turn it off?
Oh no, she was.
For
well,
overtime.
well, here's how crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we have a little black and white set.
Yeah.
Now on cable, there's a delay.
Yeah.
So I started watching it on the black and white set. So I knew that they won. She heard me yelling. So she's downstairs and they're still lining up.
Oh my God.
So she heard me yelling. She said, "How you know they won?" I said, "Well, I had the little black and white
I need
set."
to make
yeah.
sure I got the news
Now,
before
here's
you
how
did.
crazy I
Yeah.
am too. It was like very cold, windy, and he kicks the ball. And I'm blowing the TV. I'm blowing. Come on, go, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love
It
it.
That was
worked.
great. Yeah.
Good
and then,
thing you were involved.
yeah, and then there's a storm. I was down in Florida with your mom and Ed.
Oh yeah, in 90. Yeah. Or 91.
Yeah. That was a big thing back then. That was the first time they really, they were going to cancel the game because of Desert Storm.
Yeah.
And it was the first time they ever had, they checked you at the gates. They had all security.
Wow.
Yeah. So you had to go through metal detectors, and that was never before. Never. Ever. That was the first time ever. And then the World Series in 2001 was like that also.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
Yankees.
Yeah.
It was Bush threw out the first pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was packed. I mean,
Oh,
it was.
wow.
You had to get there 2 hours before to get in because
Yeah.
it was. You had to go for like 4 checkpoints.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and those games were incredible too.
I mean, that was one of the best series in the modern era.
And, that's the time when Ed's Kevin Kevin passed away.
Yeah.
And so I took Ed to every game.
Yeah.
Just to help.
Yeah.
And those games were incredible.
Yeah, they were.
They were losing in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Both games, and down to their last out, and they hit home runs in both games to tie it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
First game was Tina Martinez
Yeah.
and then Scott Brocious.
Yeah.
And Tina Martinez, the first one, was that was Miss November. She'd hit the home run in the 10th inning.
Yeah.
It was like after midnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of Mr. October was Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
So it was Mr. November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. But I said Eddie, I was really glad for Eddie. It took his mind off things.
Yeah.
That was a real hard time for him.
Yeah. I bet the energy in New York to root for a sports team during that time too, like something that is so unrelated but also so related, of like people coming together.
Oh, it was awesome.
And just like
it was absolutely awesome.
Having
it was such
something
it was such a downtime.
Celebrate. Yeah.
Such a downtime, and they didn't play for around 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then the Mets did it, not the Yankees. The Mets played at Shea and Mike Piazza, and they had, before the game was incredible. They had all these people coming out, like fire department, police department, EMS, on the field. They had families there that lost loved ones. It was very, and then the game, and people didn't know what to do, and all of a sudden they started, getting into the game a bit.
Yeah.
And Piazza hit a home run in the bottom of the 8th. They were losing, and the place erupted.
Wow.
So it was like, okay, good.
Yeah.
We can breathe again. Sport, we can enjoy ourselves.
Sort of like getting it out.
Yeah,
energy.
it was great. And that was probably the only time in the history of sports where I think the whole country was rooting for the Yankees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even the Red Sox fans said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was pretty sharp, So similar thing with the Boston Marathon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that was a tragic thing too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sports brings people together, that's for sure.
Oh, there's no question about it.
I mean, it's a very unique nature of this particular crisis that we've gone through the past year, was how it was, sports was so limited, but still trying to find a way to have it make sense,
Here's a good one too. One of my, I met this fella at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Probably in the mid-'90s. He sat right in front of me, in the row in front of me, and started talking, conversation.
Yeah.
We became like, he's like one of my best friends today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has 3 daughters, went to all their weddings. They're just lovely girls, you know what I mean? And that's only because you're just saying, just the community.
Yeah.
Just hang out. They live out in Smithtown,
Yeah.
And in 2009, I was sitting with him. And God bless him, he'd come in every game, pick me up, drive me. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's great.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Rudy,
someone you met at the stadium.
Yeah.
So
Ed,
nice.
Ed knows him and stuff. Great guy. You know what I mean? So it's like I met lifelong friends there too.
Yeah.
At Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I've been lucky that way. So.
Yeah.
And you know what's great for me? It's like 4 hours or whatever, how long the game is. It could be hockey, basketball, baseball, football. It's like 3 hours. I don't think about Kevin at all.
Right.
I'm totally out of my own head.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a good place for me not to be in my head.
Right.
So I'm totally out of my own head.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
So and thank God my wife, she encourages it. I can't tell you, Christmas presents, New Orleans Saints tickets, in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's always sending me places too.
Well, yeah. Well, you were saying earlier before we started that you guys went over to London to see the Yankees play the Red Sox.
Well, she was excited then because she said, "Oh, good, I can get him go to Europe with me now. The Yanks are playing."
Yeah.
So we made, we had everything lined up, and then another couple said, "Would you mind if we came?" And I'm so glad that they came. Just Peggy, it was good for Peggy too, you know what I mean, to have a friend, and me too.
Yeah.
So it was great. So we went to the games. There was 2 games, and we met 2 other friends there that went to the games too. So it was nice. We all went out to dinner, and then we went from there. We went to Amsterdam. Then we went to Brussels.
Yeah.
Then we went to France.
You made a whole thing of
But now
it.
France,
Nice.
they didn't tell us. Yeah, the travel an agent did. This was pretty bad, really.
Yeah.
We were only in France for one day.
Yeah.
We were flying out of France.
Okay.
Right? It was a Tour de France,
Oh,
and it was shut
so you
down.
couldn't get around.
Shut down.
Yeah.
So now, I was telling Mike, a good friend of ours, his wife is, 75 years old, and, we got like 8 bags now. We're there for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
No, we got out. Sorry, no cabs. Yeah.
Wow.
So we go off the train, and the hotel's around 3 blocks away, and it took us like an hour to get 3 blocks. But
Oh my gosh.
It was like watching the New York City Marathon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So now I'm worried about. So I actually, when we were at the, we took a train from Brussels to France.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the depot, and I said to the guy, well, how about tomorrow? So we had to get to the hotel. He said, what time? So I said, well, she said, I'll pick you up. He said, they close at 8 o'clock in the morning or something. He said, it's like we're leaving at 6 in the morning.
Wow.
I said, great. So thank God I did that. So he was able to drive us to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, I was like, how are we going to get to the airport?
Yeah.
Like lug 8 bags on the train,
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and even the trains too, when we took the train from, the depot to get downtown,
Yeah.
you can imagine how crowded they were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So around 5 trains came by.
God.
Yeah. So that was an
Wow.
experience.
Yeah.
But besides that, it was awesome.
Yeah.
We had a
Yeah.
great
And
time.
kind of cool that
We
you
had a
saw
great time.
part
The
of
Red
the
Sox,
Tour de
Yankees.
Yeah.
And there was another time where the Red Sox and Yankee fans had a good time with each other.
Yeah.
We were in
Sure.
Europe. You know what I mean? There was like no hostility at all.
Sure.
Right.
So I've been to Fenway Park, and not me personally, but in Yankee Stadium, I've seen fifth fights.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
In Fenway Park too. Not me personally, but come on, for heaven's sakes,
Yeah.
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 You got little children walking around. What are you doing, guys?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was a Red Sox game, which it was like when I was a little kid, 5 years old or something, one of the first fights I remember. And I was like, I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like as good as the game, but my parents were like, can you guys calm down? Like it was like 2 rows in front of us or something. My parents
Here's a
didn't love
nice
it
story
so much.
too. Ed surprised me. I think it was my 45th birthday, and totally surprised me. He got a bed and breakfast for us, 2 blocks from Fenway,
Wow.
and we went to like 3 games the whole weekend, Friday
Yeah.
to Sunday. And he just surprised. He goes, "Come on, we're going to Fenway Park."
Yeah.
How great was that?
Yeah.
sounds
That is
great.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I
was
mean,
great.
that's a fun park to be in.
Oh, it was a great park.
Yeah.
As I said, my favorite parks, because I'm old school, were Fenway and obviously Yankee Stadium. You know the old
The
one.
old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fenway Park and Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Yeah.
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 It's so funny too, because Comiskey Park
Yeah.
is like Shea Stadium, like the old one.
Right.
So it's like going to a beautiful stadium, and to me it was like a dump. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
Comiskey Park was a dump. you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So what we did there was we flew into Chicago, we went to Comiskey Park, 8 of us, had 2 cars, and we drove to Green Bay to see
Oh
the
yeah.
Packers.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a
fun.
great story too. Now that's a great story. Green Bay, see the Giants. It was like September, so it was like very nice out.
Yeah.
They actually tailgate Friday night
Really?
in Green Bay. Yeah, they started Friday
Like
night.
all the way
All through
through?
the weekend.
Right through Sunday.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there's
Wow.
that was crazy. It was like driving down Bell Boulevard. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, and all of a sudden, at the end of the boulevard, you see a big stadium.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. Green Bay's a very small town. too.
Yeah.
Very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone, it's all all Packer.
Yeah.
Packer.
Yeah.
So that was a great stadium too.
Yeah.
Because that was another experience as far as football goes. It was like like I walked in, it was like going to a cathedral for me. Because it was like the ghost of you hear Vince Lombardi,
Yeah.
Bart Starr, like when
Yeah.
I was a kid, like all these great players that I recall. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So.
We touched on MSG a little bit because we were talking about the Rangers before, but what are some of the experiences you've had there? I mean, not just basketball, hockey. I mean, boxing too, probably.
Okay, I can go back.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one for you. Madison Square Garden used to be on 50th and 8th.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, and my first experience there was roller derby.
Roller
My
derby.
mother loved roller derby.
Whoa.
Really?
And I said my father, her father, my grandfather,
Yeah.
Sigrid and Severin, the brothers, so they got seats at the garden too.
Yeah.
So we always had availability to seats.
Right.
Yeah.
Always. So, and she loved roller derby, and it was always Saturday afternoon. And then my next experience there was the circus.
Oh, sure.
Oh, cool.
Barnum and Bailey?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now the circus, when I was a child, back then they had in the basement they had like the freak show.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
The bearded lady.
Yeah,
The heavy lady.
yeah.
You see a goat or something with two heads.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously the
kid.
Knicks.
Yeah.
You know,
The other freak
yeah,
show.
Yeah,
these
I
days.
mean, so, and then the Rangers.
Yeah.
I used to go there too quite a bit. And then when I went down to 34th Street, my main memory, I mean, that's like a great memory, was like the Knicks were great then.
Yeah.
You know, it was '69,
Yeah.
and well, that was the year when the Mets won the World Series.
Yeah.
The Knicks won the championship, and
Yeah.
the Jets won the Super Bowl.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
Big
wow.
year.
All against the same team from the same city.
Oh my
Baltimore,
gosh.
Same city.
Oh, that's
what
right.
city was
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
What
Baltimore.
City? Oh my
Baltimore.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, same city.
Wow.
So I was at game. I went to a lot of the games with my dad, and it was just incredible. Like the finals.
Yeah.
Willis Reed,
Yeah, yeah.
Walt Frazier, Bill Borelli,
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
Busher,
Yeah.
Dick Barnett.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like 14, 15. It was an incredible experience. But once again, I wasn't at Game 7.
Yeah.
I was at the game when we got hurt.
Yeah.
That was a big thing back then.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we got hurt. I was at that game,
Yeah.
and they were losing by 20 points at halftime. They came back and won.
Yeah.
And that was against the Lakers, against Will Chamberlain, Jerry West,
Yeah.
like all superstars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, superstars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was a great experience. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
And then in '72, I'll never forget too. My mother's such a good lady too. You know what I mean, it was Mother's Day,
Yeah.
and they were playing the playoffs against the
Yeah.
Bullets,
Yeah.
and and it was snowing too. I never forget, for some reason it snowed late. I know
Wow.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy memories that I have. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And my mother went to the game with us.
Oh.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, we'll go.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
No roller derby today, so might as well.
Yeah. My mother loved roller derby.
Yeah.
My mother got into baseball.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, I mean, yeah, definitely. Like my mother, like when she got older, like I took my mother to quite a few games. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? At least 5 a year. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was great just to hang out with her and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when did they move the arena? Like it was at 50th and 8th, and now it's in the 30s.
It
like
was
what year?
67.
67?
Mm.
Yeah.
67.
Yeah. And what's their 50th and 8th now? I've never even...
Dwayne Reed.
Oh.
The world's
I
most
worked-
famous Dwayne Reed.
I worked on 50th and 8th for like 20 years. In fact, Kelly was right downstairs. in
yeah,
the
oh, that's
theater.
Oh, yeah,
right. So
she's
yeah,
right
so
on
she's
the-
in the
Around.
49th and 9th.
Theater in the
yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Right.
She was
Yeah.
right downstairs. I was in that building,
Yeah.
the Paramount building.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I was there for around 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I obviously Kelly now and then, you know.
Yeah.
You know, she had a tough job, you know. I mean, she
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, she does.
yeah. So, but I used to walk down the block and I would tell people,
Yeah.
that was the Madison. I said, that was Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it looks so small, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
put two and two together
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was great memories, you know, at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
You know, I can't tell you how many games, you know, I went to, you know, at the Garden too, especially with the Rangers, you know, in the old days with my buddies and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
When Jimmy got married,
Yeah.
we had his bachelor party at Shea Stadium.
Right, right.
And
Yeah.
he was a big Ranger fan.
Yeah.
And we got him a Brian Leach. We put it right.
Yeah, he
we
was a
framed
big
it.
Leach
we framed
fan.
It. He's a
Yeah.
big Leach fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we framed it for him. you
Yeah.
know. So, but yeah, like I said, a lot of Ranger games. You know, Eddie
Yeah.
Jockman, like
Yeah.
all 60s, 70s, 80s. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good stuff that way too. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I've been to probably around 6 or 7 hockey ball. I've been to Toronto.
Mm.
Yeah.
In their stadium.
Yeah.
Been to Montreal.
Yeah.
Been to, as I said, Vancouver. I've been to more, Canadian stadiums, I think, than New York. I've been to
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Been to Boston.
Yeah.
Hockey. Now Boston, the old Garden was great too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The old Garden, oh,
Yeah.
you would sit behind poles,
Yeah.
so you would have to watch the game like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. I went to Minnesota. Here's a good story. See the Giants. It was '86.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the year because that was their first Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
And it was a huge game, and we get tickets, and of course, you get tickets the last minute, so we sit down, and I'm telling you, the pole was like right here.
Oh, no.
It's between my legs. So I can only basically see like the 5-yard line.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? So I actually went downstairs to customer service. Said, listen, you got that seat? So they knew about it. So they were nice enough. Now, wait to hear this one. They had on the back, the last row, they had a big air conditioning vent. So they told me, just jump up in the vent.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I said, how am I going to? So my friend said, no, where my friend sat with me. The two of us sitting in the vent.
Oh my gosh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Different times.
Yeah, no, I
don't think they do
yeah, I
that
don't know if
anymore.
they let
just
you
great
do that
memories
anymore.
like that. It was great. You know?
Yeah.
And that was that trip. I stayed in the same hotel as the Islanders.
Yeah.
And the Giants. Because Minnesota's like a really small.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And we were like outside. Once again, we didn't realize it.
Right.
Yeah.
But we stayed with both teams.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
So the last stadium that we haven't talked about is the newest one. Have you been to the Barclays yet? Do you have any interest?
Yeah, I
in
was there
going?
with you.
Oh, wait, for the Islander? Did we go to the Islander game?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, Islander Rangers.
Oh, did we go to that game? Because now, I mean, you talk about stadiums that are less than perfect. You know, the Islanders, they're not even going to play there anymore because they designed it for basketball.
Yeah. I was. Yeah. No, I heard. I'd never been to a basketball game.
Yeah.
But I heard good things about it.
Yeah.
You know, from friends. They
It's
said,
fun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
go
it's
to
like
one of
this-
those every
yeah,
year too.
Yeah, I heard it's very. No, I heard it's even. They said what they do is they totally darken the whole place. Where the Knicks don't do that.
Yeah.
Garden's lit up still. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So they said you can really see
Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah, it's
much better.
spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. The spotlight.
Yeah.
It's like a spotlight. Exactly.
Yeah. It's also
know.
like the Nets games are like a theater production. Like the entire thing, the entire time, there's like people dancing and people like it's just it's chaos. It's great, but it's great. You can see the game really well too.
Now when I went to the Ranger game, our seats, I heard there are bad seats there for hockey.
Yeah,
but
there
when we
are.
sat, they weren't bad.
No, you can definitely find
we were
good
behind
seats
the
there.
gold.
Yeah.
We were like mid up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think Eddie's friend got his tickets. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Were they the ones where you were in the chairs? Because Ed and I had split season tickets for 3 or 4 years there, where they were actually in like office chairs. Were they those?
No. In fact, we met him before the game went to a pizza place. Or I mean, not a pizza place.
Oh, right. That's coming.
And Jimmy came
That's
too.
right. That's right. Yeah.
And we sat behind the goal, around like say 6 seats in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Eddie's friend got us the tickets.
Yeah.
And he went to eat with us, but he didn't sit with us.
Right. Yeah, it's coming clear now.
So.
There are just some seats there were, because past tense, because the Islanders bailed on it, and they're going to be in Belmont now, as we were talking about earlier. But yeah, there were some seats where you just can't see a third of the ice from the blue line in.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what I
And,
heard. So I didn't experience that.
Work.
Yeah.
You know?
But otherwise, it's a pretty nice stadium. I mean, I kind of like the facade. They kind of took that idea of like the Brooklyn industrial rusty metal aesthetic, and it looks good,
No, and the Islanders beat the Rangers that night too.
Yeah.
But here's another good one.
I'm there.
Here's another good one too about seats and obstructive views. I'm going to Buffalo to see the Giants play.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I got row A. I said, this is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, row A is behind, the Giants bench.
Yeah.
And all the players are standing up.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see it.
Oh.
Yeah, so we had to get up and, sit in standing room only.
Yeah.
But but we're so excited. So we got row A.
Yeah.
And it's flat. It's like a flat stadium. So it's like a bowl.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we were right on the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So another great experience, Notre Dame College.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
My cousin was telling you about the Heisman.
Yeah.
His bachelor party was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
And I was like, I'm not going. I'm the only. You're going. You know what I mean? This is your dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he knew people there.
Yeah.
Charlie Weiss was the coach then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we actually got into the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were actually on the field before the game.
Nice.
You know what I mean, it was just an incredible experience.
Early 2000s, I
You know
guess,
what
is
I mean?
when.
Yeah. And then the bad part is though, they probably didn't lose to Syracuse for 40 years.
Yeah. And they lost.
Syracuse beat them that game.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, Notre Dame's kind of the de facto college football team of New York City,
Yeah.
or at least that's my experience growing up.
Well, when I was a child, very young again, what they would do is the game wasn't even televised live.
Westwood
so,
won? Or?
So it'd be on the next morning on PIX.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like 8 years old watching it with my family. My grandfather and my father, the next day, on PIX, the Notre Dame game, you know. So it wasn't even on live at that time, So I was always Notre Dame too. And of course,
Well, the Irish team,
Irish, Newt Rockney, the whole works, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, well, today's Lou Gehrig's day.
Today is?
Yes, in
Oh.
baseball.
Wow, all
Yes.
right, yeah.
So they're going to wear a patch for the first time.
Yeah.
Number 4, and all the proceeds are going to go to ALS. Yeah. So today's the first Lou Gehrig day they're having.
Yeah.
But they're not wearing 42 like they do for Jackie Robinson.
Right.
Like every player.
Yeah.
They're not doing that.
Yeah.
You know? So today's the first day for that.
For all teams.
All
not
teams.
Just yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
yeah,
about that. That's cool.
Yep, it's Lou Gehrig Day.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a horrible disease too, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 You know, so I said as I said I got so many memories. you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's great.
So
I mean, but yeah, so Abbott's Field was the only one you hadn't gone to. You did go to the Polo Grounds, but it was kind of like
yeah.
vague
Yes,
memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very vague.
Yeah, we went by Abbott's Field, the location, just yesterday to like take a little video and check around. You know, it's a housing complex
Yes,
right now.
right.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
a bunch of really nice murals up there. There's a Jackie Robinson mural.
Now I
There's
seen
other-
Abbott's Field from the outside.
Yeah.
You know, as a child, but I was
Yeah.
never inside.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But it's the same thing with Harlem now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That's where the Polo Grounds was.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I said as a child though, I remember, as I said, walking on the field.
Yeah.
Walking like through the bullpen,
Yeah.
going out into the street.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I was more excited about that sometimes in the game.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like being real small.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
awesome. You know?
Well,
all
it's-
the energy, all
Yeah.
all of that kind
It
of
was
thing.
awesome.
I think that's like, if you go to games as a kid, like I was lucky enough, my dad worked with a bunch of lawyers, and so they'd get us tickets. And one of the first things I remember, I'm not really a Flyers fan, but like I appreciate the Flyers because I remember going as like a 5-year-old kid, 4th row, and they were like fighting right up against the glass.
Yes.
And I remember Brazier was the big player at the time. and
Brashear, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is great.
Okay.
Like, this is so fun. Just, I didn't know what was going on, but just like the energy and the lights and the, like, going out into the middle of the
Yeah.
grass. That sounds awesome. Like,
yeah. I got a good story about that
Yeah.
also. You know, the Flyer, first time I'm down there, Flyer game, the Spectrum, go up, you know, it says like row P.
Yeah.
I go up and it says row K,
Yeah.
the last row. Like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the usher, true story, he pulls down a ladder. I had to climb up a ladder, and there was like 3 rows. Yeah, I climbed up a
like
ladder.
a Murphy bed?
Yes,
Oh my
exactly.
That's so
Yeah,
good.
true story.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I was at the new one. Yeah, the new one's really nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
where the Flyers play. Went
Yeah.
to a couple of Nick games there too.
Yeah.
Like the new place too. You know,
Yeah.
really nice. You know, so.
Well, I mean, you've seen sports grow as an industry from something that was more like almost community, and it's still community. I don't think it's necessarily a good or bad thing, but you know, like it's become a full business
Oh,
Yeah.
of like presenting amazing events to people, and it's cool that you were there for the whole.
But look at the NFL today, right?
Yeah.
Talk about business. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, totally.
It's
I can't believe they're adding that extra game. You know, like it was a perfect
Yes,
symmetry.
no.
There's no
Yeah.
need, you know, just add an extra bye week.
Money.
You know, like you just give them an extra a
Greed.
week to yeah.
Greed.
It's crazy.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's greed.
But yeah,
You know,
but
there's no question about it. You know?
Yeah.
And then of course too, like look at the salaries.
yeah.
The salaries today. You know.
Yeah.
How can you?
But hey,
cops
it's
cops and firemen are making, and school teachers.
Yeah.
And you got professional athletes making $25-30 million a year.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll
It's
say
hard-
about
it's
that
hard
too
to
Something
is
wrong
figure
with
that
that,
out.
right?
It's hard
I-
to figure that out.
I don't think that they
yeah.
should necessarily be making that much money, but it's better than the owners making all the money
Oh,
and
no,
them making
no,
none of the
that's-
money
of
like
course.
back
Without a
when,
doubt,
too.
I
You know,
agree totally.
you know,
That's
Mickey
true.
Mantle blowing his knees
I
out,
agree
you know,
totally.
not getting as much money as he should.
I agree
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
You know. Well, that's a big
Yeah.
issue today too. Now you talk about blowing
Yeah.
out your knees.
Yeah.
People ask me about that, and they said, well, why do athletes today get hurt so much compared to,
Yeah.
you know, in the old days? And I just think that they keep their bodies, they're so chiseled now. They
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
their bodies
Yeah.
in tremendous shape, and they're working out 12 months a year.
Yeah.
There's no off season for these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so tight, they just break down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in the old days, you know, like as you said, Mickey Mantle, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
he was always banged up,
Yeah.
but he was always, you know, gone on the field, and
Yeah.
a lot of these guys had jobs in the winter.
Yeah.
You know, they had to go
Oh.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Yogi Berra, he owned the bowling alley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like more like sort of
Yeah.
it was like a working class
Yeah.
man's
Yeah.
sport. Yeah. Now it's
And
like.
I mean,
the
so
whole
many.
thing.
I just say Yogi Berra, those, you know, those great seats that I had at one time in the stadium, like 4 rows off. I was at Phil Rizzuto Day, and he always said, "Holy cow!"
Yeah. Yeah.
So they had a cow for him.
Oh.
before the game. They gave him a cow.
Like a real cow?
And he was doing and the cow tripped him, and he fell
Oh
over.
my God.
Yeah, he's on the ground. Holy cow! Yeah. But it was so great. I was so close. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, so many memories. You know, I mean, so it's just, you know, I've been blessed that way. You know,
Yeah.
so it's my passion still is just like you guys love to walk.
Yeah.
I mean, we all need a passion, right?
That's right.
Absolutely,
That's right.
yeah. It helps to like place things and
Definitely.
Yeah, follow
Definitely,
life.
without a doubt. Without a doubt. You
Well,
know,
thanks so much for joining us.
Oh,
Really appreciate
please.
it.
No, it was
Yeah.
awesome. I can go on and, you know, I can go on and on.
I know.
Yeah.
I'd love to show you the room.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see it.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
All right, well, that does it for this week. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you had as much fun listening to us talk with Kevin as we did talking with him.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun that we had, so hopefully you're there too. And if you did like it and you want to tell us, you can click the button that says like, you can write a comment. If you have any sports stories of your own to share, feel free. And, you know, we have 2 more weeks left, so if you haven't subscribed yet, now's your chance. You'll get a couple emails from us, or whatever happens when you subscribe. You'll get pinged, and you'll know that we're making more videos.
That's right. Just 2 more weeks left in this project, and we will have hit 1 full calendar year of 5 marathons a week for a year in New York City. Very crazy. Yeah, so we hope you join us next week. Until then, take care.
Bye.
Bye.